from Roestheim because you can read it on our t-shirts, a Belgian website, music website. We do a lot of interviews, reviews on CDs, on gigs that musicians play in our country, mostly Belgium, Holland. We have about 200,000 people every month that come to visit our site, so
yeah,
welcome in Holland.
I've seen you guys use magazine.
Yeah.
Let me introduce you from left to right, the youngest one, Mr. Shawn Pittman.
How's it going?
Old but not forgotten. Mr. James Anson Funderburgh.
Correct.
A famous guitarist, and I may not forget Mr. Mike Morgan.
Hello.
Welcome in Holland.
Thank you.
You're announced as the Summit of Texas Guitarists.
Texas Blues Guitar Summit.
That's the official name, yeah.
Yeah.
We have a problem because Arjan, your manager, your road manager, he phoned us this night, 2 o'clock. He was just finishing our day by drinking
A beer.
a rum. And one of the famous beers in Belgium, but I
know all about you.
Yeah, I learned the hard way.
It's one of the best, but one of the most dangerous.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
So, Arjan told us, can you please interview the 3 gentlemen? So, I'm prepared and not prepared.
Okay, us too.
Because we all know who you are. We all know that you're from Texas. But what makes Texas so important or so famous that it collects 3 guitarists? Is there some? Why are you together? Maybe Anson can.
We're all friends while we're together. I mean, you know, we all live fairly close.
We know that you're all 3 guitarists, yeah, but why? What brings you together?
The music.
Yeah. That can every state in America. They can all say that. Why is what makes Texas so famous?
Well, I can walk to his. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
I mean,
I can see it in your eyes. Yeah. Yeah. There must be something specific around Texas.
There's a lot of history. There's a lot of blues history from Texas. A lot of different players that were all real famous players that made a kind of a culture, right?
I'd say that's about right. Texas is sort of known for blues guitars, you know, different styles. You know, Mance Lipscomb, Lightning Hopkins, Frankie Lee Sims, and then like T-Bone Walker, Freddie King, Albert Collins. I mean, all of them sound different. So I mean, it's but I think the state of Texas, you don't hear harmonica players coming out of Texas playing blues. You hear about the guitar players, and why that is, I couldn't tell you, but there's a few of them.
But young guys, older guys, but
Easy.
but there must be a thing that brought you together. Who met who?
Well, I'm really from Oklahoma. So, but that borders Texas. So, but I had family in Texas, so I came to Texas all the time. And I just heard this guitar playing, and they were doing it in the 90s when I was a teenager. And I wanted to sound like that. I wanted to play like that. So I moved to Dallas, and I watched you as much as I could. You're always on the road. I watched you as much as I could, and then I went over to his house for a guitar lesson when I was 17, and that was 30 years ago. And he showed me some stuff, and we've just been friends, you know, ever since. And Mike told me one day, he's like, man, I'm kind of got this idea in my head. I'd like to get me, you, and Anson. And I didn't know Anson as well. I've gotten to know him a lot better on this trip and just these gigs that we've been doing.
Yeah.
Well, we've met before, but now we've really got to know each other. So Mike kind of was put together the idea of us getting together. And I'm just happy to be on stage next to him because it's a guitar lesson for me every night.
So, you know, traveling together, you went to Europe. You're here for 3 weeks.
Mm-hmm. This is our last few days. We go back on the 10th.
Tuesday.
Yeah.
Yeah. Does that mean that it's the end of the project? That you say, okay, we went back home and...
No.
We have shows to play when we get back in June.
June and July.
So,
Yep.
you're also planning maybe some record or so?
You know, we haven't made that plan yet, but that's certainly
Talked about it a
yeah,
little
we've
bit.
talked about it. You know.
Because you have done a lot
Looks
of
like we'll be
live
back.
recordings, so maybe...
I think we'll be back over here next year in July.
Next summer.
It all started, I think, in Denmark.
Uh,
Denmark, Sweden,
Norway.
yes,
Norway.
Yeah.
Yes.
and now you're here in Holland. Did you know Ospel Blues?
Do I?
Yeah?
Oh God.
We played it
I
before.
played here with Sam.
Oh yes, with Sam Mayers, yeah.
And I played here with Andy P. And I played here with Otis Grand.
So you were happy to be back?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Your last show will be in Banana Peel. This week or on the end of the week, I don't know, but
Monday.
Monday, and then you go back home.
Yeah.
Tuesday.
And then, is there a life behind when you're back in the States?
Unless that plane goes down.
Well, we all have our own projects, you know, we all have our own bands, and this was a side project that, like you said, I kind of had an idea one day. And two of my favorite guitar players and two of my favorite friends and asked them. So we still all have our own bands, but this is a side project that people seem to like, and we like doing it. So.
Yeah. Last evening you were in Belgium, in Hasselt, in the MOD, in the Music Odrome.
No, last night we were in Luxembourg.
Yeah, on Tuesday they were there.
Tuesday.
Yeah.
A specific question. Do you know anything about Belgian blues? When you say Belgium, can you say the blues in Belgium? Do you know names or?
I couldn't, but this is the thing: is you could ask me somewhere near Texas, and I might not be able to name.
No, okay, but do you have a name when you say something about blues in Belgium? Belgium, Holland? Because you're from the States, we are always looking to, in America, there the blues is born, all comes from the States, but when you come to Europe, you have been in Norway, you have been in Sweden. Other bands that you say, they are good.
These states are, of course. I didn't know what you were asking. I feel like that when we come here as a band, the people here are much more educated to what we are. I mean, they know about all of our heroes. They know more about us than I know about myself sometimes. But you know, they're all fans. They love roots music. They like old country. They like rockabilly. They like jazz. They like blues.
Now you're saying that we take more time to listen to the music.
Much more studious.
To listen to the live audiences.
Yeah.
Much more attentive,
Yeah.
quiet, you know, you're not out there just talking and drinking. You're listening to the music.
Yeah, okay.
When I grew up, people danced to this kind of music.
During the gig, yeah.
there was a dance called the Push in Texas, and it was a combination of the Lindy Hop and the Charleston. The man and woman danced in the slot.
Yeah.
And it looks a lot like there was another dance out in the Carolinas called the Shag.
Yeah.
And they're very similar. But, you know, when I was 15, 16 years old, we played all the old Jimmy Reed songs, Linda Lou, and all that kind of stuff. And people danced to it. So, just a different way of looking at it. I enjoy watching people dance because it reminds me of being a kid playing music.
I can understand it when you're on stage and you see the people before you dance
Actually,
and enjoying.
I'm more nervous in front of your crowds because they're paying more
They're actually paying attention.
May I call you the elder guys of guitar players? What would you advise when you meet a younger guy who wants to go into the music, who wants to become a musician?
Run away.
You may not answer, that's
Don't, don't do it.
You know,
you never.
you know, if you really want to play music, you're gonna play music.
Yeah, but you never got a young guy that you met and he said, Anson, what is your advice? What must I do?
My advice would be to get some sort of an education in music. I'd get some sort of education playing music, and then I'd get another degree in maybe business to try to figure out how to make money when you do, if you make money, how to save it and manage it.
Mike,
Most of us are just, you know, so happy to be playing that we don't really think so much about the money. And you know, so one day you grow up and you get old and you go, well,
Mike, should you, when you had the possibility to do it over again, when you were young again and you must decide, I want to do it to be a musician.
Would I do that again?
Yeah, do it again. Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably.
I would maybe be a little more focused.
Yeah.
Like you said, you know, we all started off younger, and when you're in your 20s, it's hard to act like you do when you're in your 60s. You know, you're not as smart.
I'll say this, music has taken me places that I would have never probably have ever gotten.
Like right here?
Like right here.
Yeah.
I come from a town that had about 3,000 people in it. We were country people, didn't have a whole lot. And I'd say it just kind of came to me. I never really, probably didn't spend enough time fooling with it as I should have. And so I've been blessed, I think, to be able to have something that has taken me all over the world and made a okay living.
That you could do what you wanted to do.
My dad told me a long time ago, he said, son, if you find a job that you really like, you'll never work a day in your life.
That's correct.
Yeah.
My daughter went to Germany to work. I've asked her, do you like to do that? Then you must do it. Do whatever you like to do.
Yeah.
A reaction from the youngest guy.
Same thing.
Who did you step in? Do you have the same feelings that you say, okay, I want to go for it and wait and see?
Well, I think when you're younger, you're impatient. You don't see very far into the future, and all you want to do is sound good. You want to learn that guitar lick and sound like your heroes, and that's all that matters, you know. And maybe over time, you grow up, but there's no. I mean, that feeling that you have, that excitement you have to learn that stuff. I'm just happy that I had it, so I really wouldn't ever go back and change anything about it. I don't think. I mean, maybe I'd stayed in school just to have something to fall back on, but When my parents told me that, you need something to fall back on, I was like, I don't need to worry about that. But you really should. But it's hard, you know. The kind of person that's drawn to play guitar like that is going to probably be a risk taker, you know.
I have a last question for the elder guys. So, do you have still open items on what we call the bucket list? Still things that you want to do? I'm not saying that you're too old.
With music or?
Oh, just take it.
Well, there's a few places I haven't been yet that I'd like to go. I've never been to Japan.
Me either.
Me either.
I mean, I don't know. Musically, I'd like to make more records, keep making music.
Yeah.
That's what I do. I don't know. I'd like to make a better living at it sometime.
Did Corona change your life?
Do what?
The pandemic, the Corona months, years?
The pandemic was not kind.
No, I know, but like now we are too free again, not free. Okay, we can play whatever, but
did it make all of us glad that we can come back and play guitar? Absolutely.
Did it change yourself that you say, okay, I must live more than I did before, or more? I must more enjoy it.
Maybe.
Maybe. And Mike, what's your opinion?
Maybe. It didn't change much for me, but I'm like Anson. I just finally made another record after 15 years. So I want to, you know, I wish that our music that we play was more popular. I think I can speak for all of us. In the late 80s and through the mid 90s, it was a big, wide crowd. Young people, middle-aged, older people. And now, for the most part, the crowd is the people from 50 to on up. And when at our shows, there's a hole where there's not young people. We need to figure out a way to get more young people to be interested in this music. But we have had good crowds, but it's mostly older.
Is there a reason that you think why the younger don't come to the to the concerts or the gigs?
It's just not fashionable right now.
Oh,
it's not hip.
That's right.
But you know what's funny is when I play a gig on Tuesday nights where I play upright bass, and there's a guy that plays dobro, and we play in this little trendy place in Dallas, and it's young people come in there just because it's trendy, and they come in and they hear the music and they love it.
Yeah.
I mean, they dance and they love it, and so I'm not sure how to get that fashionable again, but I don't know. But
I think it has to be fun. I think sometimes the perfection of trying to with the blues thing. I think that's why some of the things that we scratch our head and wonder why people dig it. That's why they do it. It's just kind of it's fun. It's not. We're not the scientists or the historians of the blues. You know, they just have figure out how to have a good time with it. In the 90s, people danced. Swing dance was kind of big out on the West Coast. I know you played out there. I mean, people come out and just dance, and have fun. And, you know, it's got to be, you know, I think it's got to be fun. Maybe we've gotten a little bit old and kind of too.
We don't jump, but we are enjoying.
Well, just not that, but I don't know.
I wouldn't say that. It's hard. It's still hard to keep up with these guys.
Yeah.
I mean,
I was
no doubt.
waiting for a reaction of Shawn. What do you think about?
I hope I can continue on the tradition that they're doing. I think just like our heroes, they did it until they just couldn't do it anymore, and just like doing it. I'm glad I can do it.
Because you are doing it then.
I'm doing it.
Yeah.
Keep it up.
Because normally we think, okay, there are more younger guys that step in and that.
I think that there always will be, and there always will be, as long as people are still able to be exposed to it. I think sometimes maybe they're not exposed to it as much now, but at the same time, there's a lot more things like YouTube and social media to where they can have access to it. So, you know, I think if when people see it, they like it. They just gotta see it.
Okay. That were my questions. I thank you again for the opportunity that we have to talk with you. On the set list tonight, what are you going to play? What maybe is expected?
We do a little bit of everybody's things, like we do some songs that are Mike's songs. We do some songs that Anson from his records. We do some from mine, and then we've thrown some songs we just like playing in there.
You mix them up and you make a good show. Okay. Are you also interested in the other groups that are today on the program?
Yeah.
I love Mickey Hill. Mickey Hill's great.
I think there are more persistent.
Yeah.
Who not?
Who not? Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I haven't
Because
really looked at the thing except for her.
She's today with her own group. Her own band.
Fucking.
She was already here in Ospel, but
GH20, I like those guys too.
Yeah.
GH20, I want
We
to
missed
see
them.
them.
We didn't get here.
They already left, didn't they?
Yeah,
They had another gig or something.
something.
okay, thank you again for
thank
your
you.
roots time.
Our pleasure.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, gentlemen.
Thank you, sir.
Anson,
Thank you, sir.
Mike,
Yes, sir.
thank you,
Thank
boss.
you.